form, when we discuss form, we're talking about the structure of the piece. This is a 4-line piece, and I would like you to recognize some things. Please recognize that the first line is noticeably similar to either line 2, 3, or 4, and you'll find that it's very similar to line 4. The only thing that's really different is the very end, where at the very end you'll have 2 half notes lined up at the first line, but at the very end, the last line, you'll have a whole note to complete the piece. And now lines 2 and 3 are also similar, except where does it change? The third measure, yes, the third, yes, box. And in the left hand, you'll be playing all the, everything in the left hand will be only Fs. All the busy notes are going to be in the right hand. I would like us to play as a group the first line. Since the notes are lined up on the staff, both right hand and left hand will be playing at the same time with the same rhythms. Okay, let's give that a shot. 1, 2, ready, begin. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Good. Some of you might be wondering, what is that bracket underneath the music? Does anyone know? That means to use your pedal. So you're going to use your right pedal. You'll notice that you have 3 pedals. You're going to use the one way on the right side, making sure that the ball of the foot is the only thing on the big part of the pedal, and your heel should be on the ground. So it's just a little lever that you'll be using your foot as. Just go down gently and come back up. So let's try it with the pedal.
What does it do?
It sustains the sound. So you'll hear a ringing sound instead of the note being detached.
What about the other 2?
The other 2, the left one is called the soft pedal. I'm not too sure if it makes a difference. So you can actually try it without the left pedal and use the left pedal. On an acoustic piano, you should be able to hear it a little bit better, just because it actually dampens, you know, the sound inside the pedal. And electric piano is just making a simulation. And then the left pedal is also a sustaining, or the middle pedal is also a sustaining pedal, but there's a little trick to it. Even I don't use it that frequently. I have been in situations where I had to use it, but the middle pedal sustains notes and also allows me to play staccato. So if I have middle pedal, I'm able to do both. If I use the right pedal, all of these notes will be sustained. So it gives me the option to hold some notes and detach some notes. Okay, so we'll use the right one. That's the most frequently used. My right foot is almost always on the pedal whenever I play the keyboard. Okay, so let's try it with the pedal, class. Ready? And Amy, you can scoot your foot back just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Just on the ball of your foot. 1, 2, ready with the pedal. 2. Excellent job. Okay, so I don't think we even need to go to the last line because it's only a slight difference. Go back into your hand position and let's see what the second and third line is all about. If you notice, there's a little 4 on top for the right hand note. In that case, you could just follow the finger numbers and read through. The notes are sliding down all the way to C. F, E, D, C. Do you see that? And then we're going to go to the half note, go seconds up to play D, 2, and then back down to C, 2. Left hand responds, F, F. Right hand responds on C, C. Seconds up, D, 2. Back down to C, 2. Measure 9. Starts exactly the way second line started. F, E, D, C. Seconds up, D, 2. C, 2. Seconds back up, D, repeat, E, repeat, and up to F. So we are not using the pinky at all in the right hand. Okay, let's start from the second line. 1, 2, ready, begin. F, E, D, to play the duet with me. Anyone would like to try? Should we just try it as a group?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So no one's on the spot. Oh.
Oh.
No, I have the music for it actually. I didn't.
Memorize it.
I mean, I played this duet many times, but I still leave the music. Okay. Turn up your music just a little bit so we can really hear the ringing sound of your system use pedal.
We can really hear some of them.
Yeah. 1, 2, ready, begin. That you learned so far, and there's a lot of reading going on, and I thought all of you did a fantastic job. In the next piece, Planetarium, there's also seconds that I want you to practice with, but for this piece and the next couple other pieces, I actually had planned on grouping you as partners, so that way you can look at these pieces together, but I will work with EJ. So if Zoanne and Amy could collaborate, one person go to one keyboard or something like that, and then EJ, I'll go to you, so that way we can work on Planetarium together.
Okay.
Okay, so take your pencils and open up Planetarium. Let's first label where we're starting. This says 2 on what and 1 on what. So this is just reinforcing the landmark notes that we're working with right now. So you can just scoot over your bench or share a bench. And one of you will, so the middle space will be empty basically. I should have said the middle of the piano. So I'll sit on this side of you. Yeah. And usually do it for this one. Yeah. I wonder if you put on headphones, you could hear both. EJ, do you want to try it with me?
Yeah, sure.
Can you hear it too?
No.
You can't? I'm the only one who could hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear it now.
Can you hear it? Oh. Can you hear it now?
No. Yeah, I can hear it on this one.
No, I can't. So we'll just have to unplug it. Maybe we should just play it all together as a class right here. I thought maybe it might work, but I guess not. So we're starting on F, and are we sloping down or are we going back up? Going up, so that means we will be going to G next. Okay, so let's go ahead and just try that. We have F, and G. And now the right hand, we pick up on C, and looks like we're going up again. D. Now as you're playing the 4 notes,
Left-handed and right.
oh, we'll just play together at the same time on the same keyboard. So we can really hear the lower registers and the higher registers at the same time. And recognize that we do have slur markings. So we're going to have to make a connection between the 2 notes in the left hand and then through the 2 notes in the right hand. Let's try that 3 times in a row. 1, 2, ready, begin. F, G, C, D, let's take a look at the last line. Last line, the 3rd line. It's similar, but notice at the very end, we're going to have C and G at the same time. Start from measure 9, the last line. 1, 2, ready, begin. Now when we take a look at the middle section, the middle line, most of the notes occur in the right hand. Which landmark note are we starting on in the fifth measure?
G.
G, good reading. So we have G2, seconds down to F2, go back up to G2, and our landmark note, C2. Next, we're going seconds up from C, D2, back down to C2, back up to D2, left hand, G. Good. Let's go ahead and play the second line together. Just going to see how they're doing. Ready on G. G2, F2, G2, C2, D2, C2, D, and left hand, G2. Okay, we're ready to play the entire thing. I don't have a duet for this, but I could try making one up right now.
Sure, you can improvise something.
Okay, 1, 2, ready, begin. I love that sound. I love it. That was very good reading. G, like right out of nowhere. Do you have any questions about reading seconds with the landmark notes? I think you're doing a fantastic job recognizing these notes. Now it's time for a challenge. So I'm going to give you some thirds to work with, which will occur in our piece. Actually, I had, with Alouette. Since we're in partners right now, I think it would be a better idea to take out your Allegro and Boogie in thirds. You know, I didn't write that in, but right now I think it would be an appropriate time to take out, Allegro and Boogie in thirds. Do you need it? You could just take this one. And EJ and I will share. Let's go ahead and fill in the blanks again. You're guessing, well, that's not a landmark note at all in the right hand. But if you can try to calculate, there's two landmark notes surrounding the note that you see. Which note do you think that is? Yes, E, exactly. So let me just review that with you. So I'll circle the note that we were trying to identify right now. It is this one. This is our landmark note, and this is our landmark note. The circled note is thirds above the C or thirds below the G. Okay, so now let's go ahead and place our first finger. Is it the first finger on the Allegro? On E. And then set your left hand on C. Okay. Now here, notice that you'll be playing hands together at the same time, and the left hand will be holding a whole note. And EJ, I think you could just go with this in the middle. Okay. And so now let's practice just the first two measures. And then the left hand will be on C. One on C, on that middle C. So your hands are very, very close here. Thirds proximity. And I would like you to work as a group to make sure, check on each other to make sure that you are holding the left hand while you're playing the right hand. So work on just the first two measures. Can you show that to me? Right, exactly. And I think you can go ahead, yeah, continue reading. Notice that all of these are thirds, with the exception of the last one. Maybe you want to come over here. You're just not surprised all of a sudden. And we'll have seconds here. So everything else is thirds. We have seconds.
I can see it.
Help each other to make sure you're holding that thumb.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Right, right. And then if you continue reading, you can go on. You're going to pick up on the same note you started with. E, and then C. And it's another line note. That means you're going to skip your second finger and go to A. Exactly. Read B and then go back to C to B to 3 seconds. Exactly. And then it starts again just like you did at the beginning. Okay. Yes. And then repeat what you've done here. Thirds down, line note, and then C, thirds again. Alright, so you're going to do the line note to liner. Yeah, you need to skip. Okay. So C, A, back to C, now seconds, and back up C to exactly. You can go ahead and write yourself some notes. So we can play it as a group. And we also have a duet here. My part is a little bit busy.
Your part's cool.
Maybe EJ and I can play right now as you're listening. So EJ actually moved up. If you notice right here, it says student plays 1 octave higher. Usually the book will tell you because we need to share a piano. That's not most cases where there's 2 pianos at a studio. More than 2 pianos. 1, 2, ready, begin. That's very nice.
Feels so fancy.
So fancy. I like that word you used. Okay, can we try it as a class? We'll try without the duet. This time I would like you to try to emphasize the dynamics. The G's are already forte, so you don't have to worry about that. But when we get to the second line, let's try to control our sound. It might be more helpful for you to play louder than normal the first time, so you don't have to control so much when we get to the piano. Okay. 1, 2, forte sound. Why I like that kind of clashing sound. It just makes me like really laugh. I don't know. No offense to anybody. I shouldn't have laughed, but I just can't help it. It's just like my natural response to those clashing sounds. Okay, let's try that one more time. I apologize. On the third measure, let's remind ourselves that we're going to be using using thirds. A, C, or E, C, A, A. So in this position, you're going to be using E, C, A, A. So we have 2 keys we're not going to be using. E, C, A, C. Now, seconds. Okay, that happens in both lines. Ready from the beginning? 1, 2, ready, begin. E, B, C, 2, E, E, 2, E, A, C, 2, B, 2, E, E, G, nice piano. E, E, G. Now thirds, E, C, A, C, B, C, 2. Almost. The rhythm is good. So that's one thing that you have to hang on to. And as you're practicing this piece over the next week, focus on that third measure so that way we can really coordinate these thirds. I feel that thirds are always a little bit more difficult because we find our eyes going to the hands except from the music. You know, as you were playing music with seconds, all of your eyes were just glued onto the music because you could actually feel these intervals. But as soon as we start playing thirds, there's a lot more time spent, you know, double checking that you're playing thirds. And that's something that we should be able to do, right? Skip some fingers. But we want to make sure that eventually our eyes could focus on the page while you're playing thirds or seconds. I want to now go to Alouette as our final piece. Let's go ahead and fill in the blanks so that we could help ourselves find the hand position. And to discuss the form with you in Alouette, we will recognize where it says at the very end, repeat the first 2 lines to the end of the piece. So it actually starts from the beginning, and after you go to the 4th line, through the 4th line, you'll actually go back to the beginning to finish the piece here. So total you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines to play. Okay? Another thing I would like you to notice is that left hand is only playing G every time it comes around. So label your 3rd finger for the left hand on G, okay? And right here on measure 11, the hands will be playing together, and that's the only time really where we're playing hands together. Let's go to start at the beginning, because you'll notice that it's a piece that you recognize, you know. It's a French folk song. Find your hand position, good. Great, okay. We'll start at the beginning. We have a mixture of 3 count note, 1 count note, 2 count note, and 4 count notes. The dot is different from the staccato. The staccatos are underneath the note, but this time the dot is next to the note. Okay, so we'll start with the 3 count note. 1, 2, ready on C, C, 2, 3, D and E, and repeat on E, 2, back down, D, C, D, keep going up. Here's our C, 2 left hand, G, 2, C, 2, 3, C, D, all the way up, F, G, repeat, G, 2 hands together, F, E, D, C, 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 2, landmark note, G, G, 2, left hand note, G, landmark note, G, 2, F, 2, E, 2, eyes up at the top, and C, 2, 3, D, E, 2, E, 2, D, C, D, E, C, left hand, G, 2, C, 2, 3, D, E, 2, E, 2, D, C, D, E, C, 2, 3, 4. Very nice job. So you had a mixture of seconds and thirds and Alouette. And everybody heard the song before? Basically? Good. I'm going to allow you some time to practice this piece, particularly on your own, while I write some reminders of what we did today. and then we'll be finished. So plug in your keyboards, and once you got a good handle of all the way, you could practice the other pieces that we've tried today. Now, is there any questions you may have? How are you doing? Pretty good. Would you like to see what it sounds like with a duet for this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And because now we're coming too close to finishing, and when we have that little performance going on, you get to choose from all the pieces that we did as a duet. What was the duet? Basketball also had it, but we didn't try it with the duet. Let's just write that down. Twinkling Planets. I think everything basically had a duet. Basketball, Back Crashing, Allegro, Planetarium, no duet. But if you want to play that as a solo, I'm more than happy to hear you do that. Yeah, so all of these have a duet. And as we learn more pieces, I would like you to choose 2 to 3 pieces, at least one solo, and at least one duet for us to practice for the little performance that we'll have. Okay, let's try this piece as a duet as a class. All 6 lines. Turn up your piano just a little bit. What's that?
Alouette.
Yes, Alouette. 1, 2, ready, begin. Let me count out loud for you so we could all be on the same pace. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. 1, 2, ready, begin. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, C and G and C, 2, 3, D, E, 2, E, 2, D, C, D, E, C, 2, 3, 4, C, D, E, to review the landmark notes, and then if you could start choosing a piece for yourself starting from number 3, okay? And also practice the C position exercise and G position exercise. Okay. Next week, bring carousel melody, and I'll have other pieces prepared for you. I brought it today, but we didn't get through them. Carousel melody and canto races. I'm very sorry for bursting out loud like that. It just happens to me. It's happened to me multiple times. And I can't, it's not something I can fix, I think.
No hard feelings.
And I think that's really how I fell in love with teaching. Like, because it made me feel that way. It was really fun for me when it was, like, I would look at a student, like, when I first started teaching, and looking at them, look at the music and try to play, it would make me like laugh because it was so interesting and it was like so intriguing because they know what they should do but they can't like necessarily do it, and I would just like laugh and not in a bad way, but it was just so, I don't know, it like does something to me. So yeah, it's kind of an abnormal thing, but
Oh, but now I know how to cheer you up.
yeah. Great class today. We played a lot of pieces today.